part 2, we'll be dealing with the top side or the top piece that will be adjustable for the distance of the cell phone thickness. Okay, my problem is to divide the 3 by 9 Nara into 5 pieces. So the width is 3 inches. So if you divide it by 5, it will become 0.6 of an inch. It's very difficult to get the 0.6 in a ruler. So what I did is make a diagonal line, and then that line should be divisible by 5. In this case, I use the line length diagonal, which is 5 inches. So if you divide it by 5, that will give me 1 inch. So for every 1 inch, I put a mark and then make parallel lines to the edges of the wood. So now I have 5 sides on the edge. So if you represent it by x, then I have already 5x on the end side. Okay, that is how I do with the dividing of 5 sides. Now in actual thing, you have to use the actual wood, and then I made already one diagonal line and divided by 5. But you cannot directly make a parallel lines on that drawing that I had, because I cannot use my t-square or I cannot use my other tri-square. So what I have to use is make a double line of diagonal lines and then make parallel lines by dividing it into 5. So here it goes, and now I'm okay with my wood stock. See, I make it a slow down, and so you can see the parallel lines, 5 lines connecting the 2 parallel lines diagonal. So cutting the board. So in cutting the board, you have the first cut. I'm using the Japanese saw that I have, and the Japanese saw is different from the other saw. The saw cut will be from pulling, not by pushing. So you have to start slowly and make, for accuracy, you have to make a little bit so much inclined. Okay, now I have 5 pieces of the Nara. So the next point, I have to make the white one. To make it quick, I have to get the thickness of the Nara, because that is the minimum thickness that I had. So I mark it, and also mark the edges where the Nara is equals to the length. No? I will not be using the node part of the pine. Pine tree is very soft compared to the Nara one. It's easy to sew and plane. So now that we have already marked the thickness of the Nara, I will also clean the edges, the longer edges of the pine, so that I will have a very good reference for the line that the gauge will be cutting in. Okay, on the other side, I have to also clean and plane it straight, and then also mark with a gauge marker. Actually, the gauge marker is very handy. Then you just inscribble it with a pencil, and then prepare for cutting. I took out the node side, can see that it is when you are cutting the nodes for the pine tree, it's very hard. So I have to take it out since the length of the stock is already long enough for my work. So it's more quicker to cut this, cut both ends. I need only 3 pieces of this white. The 2 are thicker, same as the thick of the Nara, and the middle one should be a little bit small or thinner. That is only to give way for the screw. See, now it's prepared. Here is a trick that you should learn. I prepared this long time ago. I've been using it for some time now. That is my thicknesser. You will never make mistakes how thick will be the wood. Here is the good drawing of the plan, how you will make your own thicknesser. So now we'll put it in use. Since the thicknesser has a depth that is thicker than the required one, so I made a spacer. Please ensure that the spacer is lying flat on the bottom without sawdust. Now I'm just planing it straightforward. You can see that the plane is riding with this guide on the sides and also guide on the bottom, both left and right corners. So you can also plane much wider. The widest that I can plane is the blade size. I'm using jack plane. This is very common. I bought it nearly 10 years now. I've been using it for some time. I'm also sharpening my blades, plane blades. I actually consume already 2 blades for the plane. The plane blades are normally made in England. Now I had finished the tree. I will complete the whole 5 Nara and the 2 pieces. Now this looks like a good one. So we have 3 pieces that can be shown. Okay, this is now to cut the middle one. You can see that the middle one is thinner than the other 2 sides that I made. So when you do it on the thicknesser, you will have another spacer. The spacer that I used here is simply a plastic. You can see that it is flexible, but that the thickness is also there. Plastic glass. Okay, so now the thickness is a little bit thinner from the previous one. Actually, it's about 1/8 thinner. Continue the process the same as you do it from the last time. You have to invert it several times because you want to really have the plane cut both sides. Okay, now you can see that is similar to that. I'm checking the thickness or the width of the finished product. Finally, that is the part of part 2 end. We will have another one on the coming days. Thank you very much.